Hello, everybody. I took a little break from Memorial Day and took a little Sabbath. I did do a devotional, but I just didn't record it. I just took a break from the video stuff for a little while, and it was a needed break. But I'm back at it again. As today's word for the day is complacency. Yep. Now, the definition of complacency is a feeling of quiet pleasure or security, often while unaware of some potential danger, defect, or the like. It also can be a smug self-satisfaction with an existing condition. So, let's get started. Now, I consider complacency kind of like being lukewarm. And being a lukewarm Christian is essentially what I'm referring to here. Being complacent or lukewarm is not something that I want to be. Lukewarm living, it sneaks into our hearts and our churches very subtly. When church just becomes maybe a service, it's not really a ministry any longer. And when living our life is more about us than others or God. That's when being a lukewarm Christian can really be a bad thing. Now, God speaks about lukewarm Christians in the book of Revelation, and it is in the form of a warning. We're going to look at it right here today. It says, I know all the things you do, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish that you were one or the other. But since you are like lukewarm water, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. That's Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 and 16 from the New Living Translation. Now, in other translations, you'll see where it says, I will spit you out of my mouth. Some of the other versions say vomit. I will vomit you out of my mouth. But that's neither here nor there. In Jesus' day, what he's referring to is cold water was considered very refreshing, and hot water was considered to be very therapeutic. But lukewarm water was just kind of useless. They didn't really use that for anything. It didn't have any special properties to it. It was just kind of useless. In this verse, the spiritual worthlessness of the church in Laodicea was nauseating to Jesus. Thus, the word spit you out or vomit you out. Now, God detests complacency. He does. Complacency leads to indifference, and indifference leads to idleness. During this pandemic, I have seen this happen a lot. At first, people were going stir crazy, having to be home all the time, and we weren't complacent. We were ready to go, ready to get out. But many were laid off, lost their jobs. Many began drawing unemployment from losing those jobs. And then we received a stimulus check. And then those on unemployment started getting extra unemployment money. Now, many businesses are reopening and can't find enough workers willing to go back to work because some people are making more money on unemployment than they were at their job to begin with, and they don't want to go back to work. I was even told by several of these folks that I'm referring to that when the school year ended and my school bus driving job ended for the summer, not to get a summer job. They literally told me, don't go to work, John, because I could actually draw more unemployment than I can make by working a summer job. Well, I knew right away that it was time for me to step up and get a job when that happened, I'll tell you. Because complacency, again, leads to indifference, and indifference leads to idleness. There are many who have become complacent during the past few months. They've become idle, indifferent to the fact that jobs are available. They are, and workers are needed, and they would rather just mail it in and coast as far as they can instead of getting out and being productive and doing something good in life. Well, they become apathetic. We become apathetic when we become idle, and that can quickly become a way of life. And it has. We've seen this in just 2 short months. We've seen how apathy can just tear down an entire people. You become apathetic about the needs of others around you and complacent about even the sins of others. And eventually, you become indifferent to your own sins as well. Now, if you're a leader This makes it impossible to lead other people. People need to see your passion and your purpose in your life. Complacency stands in stark contrast to God's command to boldly love and care for those around us. So, I think it's time right now to trade in that complacency theology that a lot of us have adopted over the past 2 months and go for a go time theology instead. I think it's time to make disciples, to love our neighbors boldly, defend the weak, help the poor, and give it everything that we've got to spread the word of Jesus Christ. Are you all in? Or are you just going to be complacent? I have a question for you. The question is this: how is your relationship with God? Is it good? Or could you go all in and make it phenomenal? Think about this in your prayers today. Blessings. I hope this has touched you. If it has, please share it. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and of course, click that little jingle bell so you can get notified the next time I upload a video. I will see you next time.